Hello, everyone, and welcome to the One Marketing Thing podcast. Today's topic is breaking the mold, paving your way to success and fulfillment. And my guest is Anya Smith. Hello again, everyone. I'm your host, Antionette Blake, and you are watching the One Marketing Thing podcast. Now, we started this podcast to provide digital marketers with expert advice from industry leaders with decades of experience. Now, Anya, I'm looking at you and I'm not seeing decades of experience, but I do see that you are a marketing expert. And Anya, we're going to talk about breaking the mold, paving your way to success and fulfillment. But before we get on that topic, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Yes, absolutely. So excited to be here. And I don't have decades of market experience, but I hope to share some experience from what I have learned. I have about almost a decade of experience in recruiting and also business analytics. I have been with Meta for the last 7 years, and that came to an end, but I'm excited to share my learnings. I think that marketing is so broad, right? In every role, there's an element of marketing, and really I like that marketing can be about learning, right? And I think the biggest value we can provide to people is giving them an opportunity to learn through the work that we do. So I'm excited to talk about that and also breaking the mold.
So breaking the mold, I love that because, especially now in social media, digital marketing, it's not a one size fits all, right? So you having experience recruiting, you have an experience with Meta. Tell us, what are some of the paths that we can take to become successful in our digital marketing lives?
So my thought is I have a lot of thoughts on that, but I think marketing is expanding from like this sales element where it's just like, hey, I want to get something out of you and I want you to buy. I think marketing is now about telling a story, whether it's a person, a brand, a product, right? And it's about understanding your audience. And so there's many components to that. And what I think is really important is like, again, marketing should now be something that everybody is doing, right? Because now, like, we know that there's a season of layoffs. I was affected, and I know so many people, and they're struggling because they don't know how to market themselves, right? They're like, I'm not sure how to create a site for myself. I just have this resume and I'm scared to be lost in the sea. But that's similar to any marketing work, right? So we have to understand, like, how do we promote our value? We also, and I'll talk about this, like, have to have a mindset to see our value and not get lost in the sea. Like, there's so much out there and somebody already has 1 million followers and somebody has this great product, so I shouldn't even start because who's going to care, right? So I think what I learned in my process is like to always embrace learning, to embrace understanding people and what they need, and keep exploring ways to understand your audiences, like understanding the tools that give you capabilities to like, hey, how is my product or my message resonating with an audience, right? Is it working? Should I adjust? Like, always have the curiosity of learning things, understanding better, and that will help you no matter if you market professionally, no matter if you want to market your brand. And I think that everybody should be marketing. And also, just one last spiel, I think there's so much limiting power that, again, around thinking that it's a zero-sum game, right? Where like if my business is starting out and somebody else is doing well, like I'm doing poorly, right? Or if somebody has a great idea, I have no value. And what I really want to stress is like there are billions of people, and you starting out and you having a mission, if you're marketing, like that's going to make a difference to the right audience. So don't compare yourself to others and this like whole marketing spiel. Like, even if you're starting, focus on your mission, focus on building your own structure and like the right content and all that, and that will give you the following that needs to be there for you.
And Anya, you brought up some great points. And just like where there's billions of people, we all have unique fingerprints, right? We all have different fingerprints. We all have different experiences. So even our brand, we may be representing a similar brand or the same brand as someone else. And I always like the analogy of going to the grocery store and seeing the bread aisle. If they had one type of bread, it would probably go moldy and stale. That's why it's
Right.
so important to have a different types, different styles. So when someone is marketing themselves, and we don't want them to get caught up in imposter syndrome, but they want to break the mold. They want to break out of their what they believe and to be able to service others, right?
Yeah. Yes, I think that's important. And to your point, service, right? Marketing should also be about, like we talked about, providing value, right? So think about your consumers. What do they want? Like it could just be entertainment, right? It could be cat gifs, GIFs, however you pronounce it, right? But it's like understanding what narrative, what kind of messaging, what content would give them value, whether it's sharing them something that they want to learn in your own perspective, right? Giving them entertainment, giving them something like that, that's valuable. Another thing I learned from Meta around just like the power of building community. So what I think about is like, if I'm creating a product, how am I creating community? And again, how it aligns to my cause. I have this really cliche and perhaps naive thought that if we help one another, we can build a community that builds and grows together. And that if we like, when the water rises, all ships rise. So I think like marketing should be about helping others learn, helping serve a mission. And if you want to really make it powerful, build a component of community around that.
You are definitely not naive, because that is so spot on. We all need to rise together, or we're all going to fall together.
Yeah.
So yes, building that brand, that message, that service, that bond, that community is
Mm-hmm.
so very vital. And that is a great way to build that path for success and to be fulfilled, right? Can you lay head to pillow knowing that you haven't helped anybody?
Right. Yes. And can I just add one more thing to that? Just add on. I think what I also learned in Meta is that you can be yourself, right? Like I don't perceive myself to be like super professional, and that's okay. And that's going to be my brand and that's my style. And again, with marketing, like be who you are and be true to your mission and don't change that because people are going to feel that. If they're going to resonate with your message, they're going to resonate with who you are and they're going to see the passion. And if it's anything else, like the moment it feels like it's not you, it's sleazy, it's about money, which, hey, we all want to monetize, but think about in the content of how do I help others and make that priority. And everything else I think will come along with that.
Yeah, I believe that. And that's true, because when you lay head to pillow, you should go down with a clear conscience, right?
Yes. Yes, yes. And again, if you're building something new, like this is your opportunity to make an impact, right? And I think that's what's something I'm really excited about getting out of big corporate. Like you have all this potential, right? And you're always learning. Like the thing about marketing is that there's so much space to learn. Like don't ever feel like you are the smartest person in the room or like you got it figured out, because there's so many ways to be innovative, to try social media or something like that, or build new partnerships and whatnot. So like if you're stuck, try to learn something, right? Try to find something that inspires you, try different collaborations. I love this space because of that. And again, it's not limited to even like a business, but to any
Mhm.
avenue in your life. Like the power of showing yourself, marketing yourself is going to help you build a great network, help you build
Mhm.
great partnerships, help you develop your skills. Like there's so much power. So don't think of marketing as like sleazy or even salesy or just limiting. It's really all encompassing in the way we function as a society right now.
And I don't think you should look at it as any type of failure either. When you're going from one to another, I always say that a setback is a setup for something greater. So now you're on your path to something greater.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Before we talked about Meta a little bit earlier, and there were months we knew ahead of time that there would be layoffs, and like this is something that could come up for me. And I was like, what would I want to do if I started fresh? And this was what came up of it. I started my own site and podcast this week too, and I'm talking to pre-podcast guests and running things and did my training and things like that. And it's exciting because I'm learning so much, and I want people to hear this. It's like, hey, layoffs suck. There's like nothing, like I'm not like completely, oh, this is great, I'm not feeling anything, but it does suck. But then there's so many more opportunities out there. And I hope that there's opportunity to also unite, come together, help others, and launch something really cool. Like if you're starting a little bit fresh, what would you want to do? Like, what is your passion? How can you help others? And people are so helpful. Like once you launch into it, people will reach out and want to help you and inspire you. And I still have self-doubt, but I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm still going to do this and learn a ton along the way.
I love that. And, it also brings to mind, people say, well, you don't burn your bridges because you never know when you're going to need those connections. And again, you got caught up in something, but it wasn't personal, it was business, right? So don't burn any bridges because now you have to forge ahead and you may have to reach back to some of the people that you worked with at Meta for your new, digital marketing career.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a network is everything, right? Like who you know, and I don't mean that again in a kind of a manipulative way, but there's so much power in people who are supporting you, and they'll remember how you made them feel. Like no matter if you worked with them, no matter if you direct them in some casual capacity, and even now I have amazing people reaching out, like, "Hey, I worked with you here. Can I help you in X, Y, Z?" Right? But there's another thing is like people want to help, and there's a power in that. Like I was somebody who didn't want to ask for help when I was young. I was like, I need to be ambitious, do everything myself. And that's so limiting in the long run. Like you need to reach out to people and be like, hey, I have this mission, especially as a marketer, connect to people, ask them for help. Like ultimately, again, I've learned this through my board experience, working with people at different levels and kind of who are innovators and VPs and everything. And I don't say this to brag, but people are people, right? They get hurt, they get happy, they share things that we all have. And when you reach out to them, like if you're a deal, like just reach out to them as people. Show them like what is your value, how are you helping build collaborations, and that will help you along. Even if it's just like somebody texting like, "Hey, here's my idea," or "Is this crazy?" or like, "What do you think?" Right? Like build your little tribe or big tribe, and that will help you along. And again, connections can start with whatever realm it starts with in the world, but you never know when those will come in handy.
Yeah, people say, you meet people for a season and a reason, and you may meet someone in a season, but
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't the reason wasn't there. So, now you're in a new season, right? Now
Yeah.
you're in a new season. So remember those people that you met. There may be a reason that you met them 5, 10 years ago. Then now they're going to come into play in this new season.
Absolutely. Like now I'm having these people who I've worked with a while ago. I'm like, hey, now they're starting companies or doing their own podcast or they're starting their local stuff. And I get to collaborate with them and learn from them. And this is amazing to see what people are capable of. Like my thing is like, we're all capable of more than we think we are. Like right now, like you, I, everybody, we can learn more, we can do more. Like it's just like about giving it a go, right? Starting, not like having this grand goal that just makes us feel overwhelmed. Like I'm just gonna do one thing. Like just the next thing. What's the next logical thing? Prioritizing it. And I truly believe all of us are capable of amazing things.
And I'm glad you said that, not doing a whole bunch of things and trying to be amazing at all of them. Take that, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You're taking
Yeah.
bits and pieces and you're perfecting that. And then
Yeah.
again, that's paving a way to success. And you're fulfilled. I mean, you look so happy.
Yeah. Can I touch on that a little bit? I think this is something I really feel passionate about. I think that what I learned from Meta, there was a point in my life where and I'm very blessed to say this, but I have a beautiful family. I have a great husband. I have 3 boys who are amazing. And I was like, I'm making great money. I have a good job, but I was so stressed all the time. Right. And
Mm,
there's a point where you're like, why? Like there has to be another way because like you're working, 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 you're reaching a goal and it's never enough, right? It's that next promotion, it's that next level, it's something, something, something. And that's where it clicks like you have to change I had to change my mindset on what success is, right? And success was always about a goal. And I changed it to be like, what is my success journey? And like that's
mm.
personal to you. Like, what are your values? What do you want to live day to day to feel successful? So it's not like it's always in the future, but like right now. And I'm not saying that I'm making all the money I want in the world and whatnot, but I'm learning and I'm creating and doing something that's meaningful to me. And that is my success journey. And so I want to empower people to think about that and also like take care of themselves, right? Like if you're starting a marketing business or you're running, like take care of your also success foundation and your success journey. Like eat, sleep, take a shower, all those things sometimes you forget as an entrepreneur, but build foundation to support you. And again, think about success journey versus success goal. And I hope that it gives like changes your perspective to help you be more successful in the future and also feel good in the process.
Anya, that is so wonderful and so very powerful. I love that. Again, um, you only get one go round, right? And you said you're married, you have this son. That's the important thing. The money will
Yeah.
come. And
Yeah.
if it doesn't, then you just cut back.
Yeah. 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 You still have all the people there and all the things that matter are still going to be there for sure.
I love that, Anya. You are a blessing to so many people that are listening to this podcast. I can't wait to hear your new podcast
Thank
as
you.
well, and to just kind of follow you along on your journey, because I know you are paving your way to success and fulfillment. And I think fulfillment is the key word for this interview.
Thank you. And this is such a pleasure. I really appreciate hearing about all of your marketing tips. Like again, if you're not following like all your marketing things, like I'm looking at them, like there's great advice over there. So please check out the podcast is I think really helpful. 15 minutes, you get to learn something new. That's great. And again, if you want to check out what I'm doing, please follow Right Off Track on all social media and LinkedIn and everything. And we'll be sharing our stories there too.
And that title again, I think it's on a t-shirt there. I think I see a little t-shirt there.
Right off track. Right. I believe everybody should pave their own journey, right? It doesn't have to be starting your own business, but like keep learning, keep developing, and things will follow in your own way. Don't be like somebody else.
Anya, you're a gem. We could talk for hours. I love it. Congratulations on everything that you're doing. And I know we're going to be hearing more great things coming from you. So, and if any guys have any questions for Anya, you can always just send an email to editor@passionatemarketers.com. Thank you, Anya. Good luck. Congratulations. I know we're going to connect again.
I would love to. Thank you so much, Antionette.
You're welcome. And we want to thank our sponsor, Propel. Propel is a unique review, automation, and management platform. Now, you know what they do? They have a tool. That tool helps small businesses convert website visitors into customers. Thank you, guys.